Yo, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Listen, there's a lot to talk about today. The worst thing about today, though, is my camera's not working. So this might be a PFP space by myself, but good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is you are about to be locked into the Ronin radio. Apologies for the delays today. A few things happening IRL, but we are here. We're here for sure. And we're going to get the show started in a moment. I'm still trying to sort out this motherfucking camera. But let me know in the comments what you want to talk about today. Of course, we're going to talk about the drip shop stuff, the Jin's gotcha machine as well, and other things that are revolving around the Ronin ecosystem. But let us know in the comments what you want to talk about today, and we can put it on the agenda in today's Ronin radio show. Lock in, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, man, shout out to Sonic, bro. These tunes are going crazy, bro. Let's get it. All right, it's time, ladies and gentlemen. I see you lot in the chat. Tell me. I wish I could, bro. I wish I could. I might do. You never know me. You know, I might slip up and do a little something stupid. But today, it's a little unfortunate. I'm not gonna lie to you, like it's a little unfortunate because my camera's not working. We did a workaround, and this is the workaround, bro. I'm two people. And honestly, I think this is it's pretty fucking bad. So we're just gonna have a PFP, ladies and gentlemen. We're just gonna have a PFP. But you can look at a beautiful face. It just won't be mine. It will be 1437's. But I think the way that we're opting to go about this is that we're just both PFPs today. Is that the meta? Is that what we're doing?
With the wrong case. But I'm here.
We are the wrong keys today. The Theban's here. Theban was. To be honest, I don't actually know what the fuck is wrong. I think I've used my camera so much, and to be honest, when I finish the Ronin radio shows, like there's times where I leave it on, and I think the battery's flat. So, well, it's not interesting. That's not cool news. What we got to do on this show today is talk about all the stuff that's happening on the. Now, I'm seeing a mixture of FUD and bullish sentiment. After our conversations last week, I'm thinking, SF Office, expansion, Sky Mavis, drip shop collaboration. Things are starting to percolate. I'm bullish, but you guys would have known that and expected that. But we are going to jump into today's show and talk about a couple of the things, including, the drip shop stuff. There's also AXS staking emissions halvening. We can talk about that. The Lumi yapping leaderboard with Kaito, and also the drama a little bit around some of these InfoFi accounts being shut down. And then, of course, there's buzz around the community at the moment for this Kathleen topic. So if you guys want to hear that Kathleen topic, right, you're going to have to repost the shit out of this space, bring everybody and bring all their eyes and attention towards this before I say anything about that situation right there. Because, hey, yo, I'll put my balls on the line, ladies and gentlemen, if I do so. But either way, welcome to the show. If this is your first time locked in with us, this is a terrible first time because both of us aren't on the screen. But go ahead and follow us over on our X page at the Ronin Radio, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. At 1,000 subscribers, we still are giving out some Ronki NFTs, and I think we are very close to rice farming. I've seen a trailer too, so yeah, I think that's around the corner for you guys. But Steven, how you been, bro? How is life? How are you holding up? What's your excitement levels this week? What are you looking forward to? I know you've been bullish on this drip shop, so I'm interested to hear.
Well, it's the beginning of Q3, right? Like half the year has passed now. 2025. The first half, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was real bad.
Oh, yeah.
At least for me, personally. But you know what, man? I'm always a optimistic person when it comes to life, and I think things will turn around in the second half. Like that's just well, at least he's gonna have to, right?
Yeah. Halfway. Hey, yo, if it was half time and you was down, would you stop supporting your team? Huh? I don't know.
That's
That's not
right.
the way
That's
I
right. You
roll.
know what, man? I've always been known for being the guy who makes a comeback. So I think
Comeback king.
that yeah, that's what it's all about, man. And you know what? You're when your back's against the wall and you're already at rock bottom, there's only one way to go, bro.
Yeah, facts.
That's up.
Well, yeah, I think the front facing topic of today, of course, is the drip shop
Mhm.
collaboration we have today. So I'm probably being stupid, and that's like a commonality. So like, yeah, I'm gonna guess that it is me being stupid. But today there is a live stream, right? Like, is G Host going live from the Ronin account on Drip Shop website?
Yeah, they will be in about 1 hour actually. So probably right after the show, what we can do is we
Yeah,
can just hop on over there and watch the stream and see the announcement of the winner. Then I think they'll probably do some other giveaways in the chat as well. So this is a
yeah,
very interesting collaboration. Like I'm very much in favor of this because it's a different way to go about things. I think it's gonna bridge the collectors, right, on both
uh-huh.
sides here. So it's quite the smart partnership, especially with how popular and how hot Pokemon trading cards, One Piece, all those things have gotten over the last like year and a half or so.
Yeah, for real. It's a really interesting platform. Like, I didn't hear of it before. It seems like, if we take a look at the socials page, and now you can't really like identify a company based just solely on its socials page, but they seem almost like startup, like still in a new phase, because I haven't heard of them before, right? And the social following isn't like absolutely massive as of right now. So like, in some ways, could this like be a new product? The fact that you can
Hmm.
live stream on the platform and
Well,
sell during that is
it's
very,
not
very
a
interesting.
it's not a new product, right? There's other products like it. Like for example, the first that I knew of was something called Whatnot.
Hmm.
And when I first heard of it, I thought it was just a scam, right? But it's grown to be quite big. So people would like get some um, inventory, and then they would stream and they would like auction off essentially their packs
Yeah,
or something like that. Because you can get and for example for sports cards,
Nine
right?
spots.
So
I'll
for
just
sports
read it.
cards, what they do is like they'll sell like an entire team, right? From a
Okay.
box that they break, right? So they do
Yeah.
box breaks and then they'll sell out like an entire team. So you'll get all the cards from that one team. And if like let's say 1 year the one team has like the best rookie in it, then that the cost of like acquiring all the cards from that team will cost you a little bit more. So it's more selective, it's more customized than just like getting a bunch of random stuff. It all depends on like who the seller is, and it gets pretty deep, man. Like the auctions can get quite hot. You can get really cheap stuff, or you might be able to get things that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. So the idea has been there. Drip is pretty much a competitor, right? Of
Yeah.
one of those. But like partnering up with Ronin, and now hopefully soon they will have like a wallet integration. That would also change quite a bit because there's a lot of people who are looking to buy these kind of things using
Yeah.
wallets, but they don't really get the opportunity to do so.
Yeah. That was arguably going to be my approach today. Like, in the spirit of exploration, right? Like, to find out. Okay, so yes, Ronin, have announced something to do. There hasn't been like an official announcement, like a direct partnership or anything like that. There is just a giveaway that's been ran at the moment. So my brain was kind of racking over and over, kind of figuring out, okay, if this was to be an official partnership, like what would it actually look like? And I think it's a good question to ask, even the chat, like, what do you guys think a collaboration or a partnership of sorts with this type of a product actually looks like in reality. Like, well, where's the plugins? Yes, wallet utility on the platform. Can it go beyond that? Do we really start turning these in real life items and being able to mint them onto the Ronin network itself? And what does that reality actually look like?
Well, it could be very much like being able to auction stuff, right? Live auctions. Like think about a Mystic Axie, right? What if you went and had a live auction for a Mystic Axie? Where can you actually do that in crypto right now?
Mm-hmm.
There's nowhere, right? What if this actually triggers a different kind of like NFT run? Because this is gonna come down to NFTs. I remember Jiho's liking a post or saying something on a post where someone said, "What if the gacha machines, right, had Pokemon card NFTs in it? You burn it
Yeah.
to claim it, right? IRL." So there's a lot of different things that's going on here where I feel like they're gonna experiment, they're gonna try a few different things and just see like what kind of sticks. Um, yeah, but I find it a lot more interesting than like a new game coming on Ronin. Not gonna lie, because I'm kind of like fatigued personally with all of the games that are coming on right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a nice breath of fresh air to like try something else. And people have been talking about how like we got to stop pigeonholing ourselves into like maybe just gaming, right? So this is like another
Mm-hmm.
opportunity, and I think NFTs, trading cards, they all go hand in hand.
Yeah, for real, for real. Well, as this is bubbling around, there is things going out in terms of the giveaways. They're actually giving away a lot of these prismatic evolution elite trainer boxes, which is a well sought after
Oh yeah,
box or set right now, right? Like
it's
I've been doing
insane.
some research. Yeah, I've been doing some research on like the content side of Pokemon cards, because there are huge content creators, right? That their whole niche is like Pokemon card collecting and ripping packs for content, etc. And this packs, or this set specifically, has something called like a God pack, which every single card in the pack is like is a banger. The things I was told in this set, there is a card, the Umbreon EX card, that is and it's like a special card art, but it will go for roughly around $1,000, right? And
Yeah, that's
like when
without
you
it being graded
yeah, without with no grade, and if you go get it
raw.
graded, you can go a little bit more. But when I was doing this research, Pokemon cards are NFTs, bro. It's like an NFT market, right? Like even the way the creators create content around it, like they rip packs and they'll go and check the market rate. They're actually checking the price movement of each cards and so on and so forth. It's like a slow burn of supply that isn't actually ledgered. So like there's even more volatility in price, because you could suddenly have so many people within the people that care about having these items reveal said card, which makes the supply huge, and then now the demand drops, right? Like and the prices actually move quite crazy. So there 100% is a link to NFTs and what we've seen in NFT markets for sure. So there's a lot of explorations, I think, that would be really, really beneficial if bringing these assets on chain is the direction
Yeah.
that we are heading in,
So
right? So
think about it this way, okay? Let's give some information. This prismatic evolutions, they came out, I believe it was in January, okay?
mhm.
These ETBs MSRP'd for $50, I want to say. And from there till now they're worth $100, okay?
Yeah,
These are just RWAs, real world assets, that are like 2x over this time period. Um, does it sound familiar to like stuff that we buy in NFTs and so on? Like
mhm.
people honestly only care about price going up, or assets of, or being able to acquire assets where price will go up, right?
Yeah,
So if you can like tokenize, NFT, all these things, they're gonna participate. Like crypto users don't actually care about 90% of the tech behind these things, right? They just
yeah,
want the opportunity to bet essentially.
For real. I mean, it's funny when you think about like there's actually a value to the Pokemon cards. Like as a kid, I collected them, played the game as well, the TCG game. But there's a lot of value in these cards. Some of the going rates can get pretty crazy.
Oh, you have no idea.
So
2021, before the NFT craze, right? It all started with sports cards and Pokemon.
yeah,
So the rotation happened to NFTs after the sports cards and Pokemon craze, right? There were cards that were like 20xing, 30xing, and that happened within like a month, 2 months period of time. It was like
mhm,
right at the tail end of COVID. Um, and then like NFTs was like, oh hey, well, you guys like to collect. Well, that's what NFTs are. And then it was like this new tech and and then everyone started coming in. Everything just kept 100xing at that point, right? Like you could
uh-huh.
get into any mint and you would make money on it. Like that's how insane 2021 was for NFTs. So, but it all did start with sports cards and Pokemon cards.
Yeah, for real. Well, this is the one that's going out right now. Actually, me and Theban both have a giveaway on X right now for this box set. So if you enter, you could be within an hour's time in the chance of receiving, one of these in real life. So go ahead and check those out. They're both on X. If you go to our social media pages, you'll see that. But yeah, they're going to pick these live on the live stream. So if you haven't yet already entered, go ahead and do that. I won't lie, my shit blew the fuck up, bro. I appreciate you lot. We did numbers. We did fucking numbers out here. But yeah, this is where you want to get involved. And it's been so long since I bought Pokemon cards, so it's actually gonna rekindle that side of me. I played the CCG app game, but haven't dealt with in real life assets for a while now. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to see. We'll see what happens. Let's see what they're saying in the chat. Spliffy Magoo. Oh, bro. Yeah, Spliffy Magoo right now, bro. Yeah, I cannot wait for the day when we get a return of a bullish Spliffy Magoo. But it's kind of weird for a top crypto company like Sky Mavis to always partner with new companies that have zero success. Honestly, the reason I'm addressing that is because we did have a chat with G-Host the other week, right? And like they're going to go back to their aggressive startup mode and start partnering with teams that are essentially bigger than them, right? And this is the partnership that comes out after that. But I think this is just grazing the surface. It's understandable to think that after these types of conversations, but I think this is grazing the surface. And also, I don't think that this facilitation ends up being proprietary. Like there's a market for this. There's a market for having mediums of distribution for these cards or these in real life assets. So I don't think that, I mean, there is amongst those competitive companies, but what if all of them decided to utilize and imitate the success that a smaller one does see? Optimistic again, but I don't think it is something where it just completely locks it in and there's no opportunity for anything else out there. Trevor says, when Labubu blind boxes, Labubu pops off, to be honest. I've seen a lot of Labubu shit.
Yeah, I've never seen those. Legit, where I am at, and I haven't seen those. But I just googled it, and I'm like, okay, I can see why people might like something like this. If I was to answer, Spliffy Magoo's question, I'd say it's probably a lot more cost efficient to partner up with someone on the come up than it is to like partner up with someone established. Think about so like if you're hiring somebody, right? If they have a stacked ass resume, sure, they could be really good, but they might also cost you like 10x versus like someone who has very high potential, just getting the ball rolling and you making a bet on them. And I think growing together is a lot better for like a relationship than just kind of like going in with something that has already been there, in my opinion, because then you're sort of just like a tag along, right? I think here with Drip, there's a huge opportunity for Ronin and Drip to be like, yo, we helped each other. And I think like if this really succeeds and we get some real attention here, it could be a huge like game changer, especially on the Drip side, because Drip can like there's a lot of attention on this kind of platform right now. And if they can like start vampire attacking and like utilizing Ronin's marketing and like the people that it has, then I can see a lot of stuff being different for them.
Well, nonetheless, I think Geos is the most bullish on this avenue.
Oh yeah.
So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I want to see what the live stream looks like, bro. Let's see.
And Gillett, listen, let's not forget, like when Geos was here, he was telling us about some friends he had, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah. I do remember that,
bro. Like you just like what? Like this guy knows a lot of entrepreneurs in the States, a lot of people, and I think like this is probably the time in their life where they're probably like, okay, this is the product that we're gonna stick to and we're gonna grow. And I think there's gonna be this is to answer Split Him Magoo's question, right? He's like asking like, okay, well, why, what's with these like companies that we've never heard of, right? But I'd rather this than like try to go after like the top dog and then just be at a huge money sink where you don't really get much out of it.
Yeah. So if Geo's name drops, bro, it actually makes your jaw drop at the same time. It's pretty fucking crazy. But let's keep it moving. Man, the Kathleen topic keeps like popping up on my notifications right now. Do you know anything about Kathleen, Theben? What do you know anything?
Well, wait, what are we talking about? What happened?
Oh my gosh, okay.
Okay, hold on. I'm going on my timeline right now. Where is
I'm gonna share it on the screen as well. So Hantao tweeted about it, but also the Holiday, shout out to the Holiday, who is a huge Moku bull, which is a very smart thing to. But he tweeted about it too, saying breaking Kathleen reportedly roaring kitties locked in post yesterday. She reposted it. Today her bio has a mysterious link on my ROM bags saved. The link itself is a bit.ly, which goes to let's just we may as well open it up ourselves. I'm gonna go there.
It doesn't work.
It does, bro. It does.
Okay.
Oh, her name is. I'll start putting Kathleen in, and it's Cosgod. Cosgood. The gal, the Cosgood. She's defo still in the building, bro.
Nah, bro. Look, oh my god.
Look. Yo, right now. I know I've been gone a while. I know you have a lot of questions. Hey, Gil.
Wait, what the fuck?
I'm telling you, bro. There's something going down.
What is this? Wait. We're live. Wait. She's here watching.
We're live right now.
There's no way it's Kathleen, right?
Someone is saying that her account is hacked. I'm gonna be so fucking real, right? I love this. I love this, right? And when things rise to the surface.
Oh my goodness.
I think everyone's gonna be really, really fucking happy. Well, I do. Like the thing is, I haven't actually spoken with Kathleen. I stood by it and supported her. When all the events were happening. Your network is your net worth. That was the wrong statement for this scenario. But my network, all right, I knows the people. All right. I haven't actually directly spoken with Kathleen, but I do. I'm telling you, I fucking know what's good. I know what's good with Cosgood. Okay, I know what's good. But this is a lot of fucking fun. It could be someone hacking the account. Hey, who knows? It could be this, right? For all we know, my wallet has just been drained. For all we know.
Well, if you don't sign anything or download anything, you should be fine.
But no, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be it's fun. It's gonna be fucking fun. It's gonna be fun. But Kathleen, if you are here live and you prove to us, right? Trevor said her account is hacked. response, the account is not hacked. I like this. I like this
All right,
medium.
wait,
You know
wait,
what?
we need something.
Let's do an AMA.
Right? Yeah. Let's say Kathleen's gotta tell us something to prove that it's her. Right? What is?
Yeah, where do we take this? Where do we take this?
She
All right,
needs to tell us
chat.
something
If you've
only
got
she would
questions,
know.
yeah, chat. If you got questions, you can throw them in, and if if Kathleen decides she wants to answer them, she can here live on the screen. I'm gonna ask the question, Kathleen. Are you seriously? Are you coming back? That is, I think, an answer that everybody is looking for right now. Is the return of Kathleen real? That is the question. I'm going to leave it out there. We'll leave this on the screen and we'll carry on talking. But the fact that she said Trevor and not Trevor means it's a hack using my Twitter names via AI. Trevor, okay, you're looking into this way too fucking deeply. I'm not going to lie to you, broski. But maybe I'll give you a call after the show and let you know. Either way, the question is, Kathleen, are you really coming back? And if there's anything mysterious or different about the return, maybe you could share that there too. We'll leave it open. But in honor of the show and our duty here to you guys, the community, we're going to keep serving you some information about things that are happening. Right, the AXS staking emission halvening. So I've been seeing FUD, right? Surprise, around the AXS emissions. There's a guy on social media who's actually on always on X. I don't know this person, but I see them quite commonly, and they are extremely bearish on things to do with Ronin. But this was a post that people have been circulating, they've been talking about. So either debunking this or addressing the statements made, is my intention here. I'm not gonna lie, right? This person, whoever this is 100% an OG, someone that's been around for a very long time, who very much understands white paper and holds it to account, and definitely has a lot more basis knowledge in terms of operations that will happen with tokens on Ronin, and specifically in this conversation AXS, than myself, right? So I'm not going to go up and say like, oh, he's wrong because of this, because I don't genuinely know. So but we'll explore the things that he is saying. I think it's better to be clear and open. People are going to see this on the timeline anyway. 7,500 views, yes, low engagement, but I feel like a lot of people have seen this. Alert and 10x scandal. SM has decided to use the AXS halving to steal 333,390 AXS per month from the Axie Ron community. According to the white paper, 1,044,000 AXS should be given monthly as a staking reward. Incredibly, this is theft at the highest level. So what is implying, right, is that they have not been releasing the full amount month on month, which is supposed to be going back to the AXS staking, right? So anyone that has staked AXS that's in that liquidity pool, and the APR that it claims to be giving out is what, an undershot of what it should have been, and that like there's been AXS scraped off of that is essentially what he's posing, right? Now, Odin, shout out to Odin, bro, said wrong dashboard. People are honestly fighting against this. I want to know what you guys as a community think. Like, does this bother you so much? Like, of course it should if it's true, for sure. But like, have you come across this? Is there high level concerns about this? Theban, what do you think? Do you have AXS staked yourself? Is this something that affects you?
I mean, I think AXS affects everybody, right?
Yeah.
Because
this kind of cute.
we got Axie, we got it's like what probably one of the highest pools on Katana as well, right? And a lot of the speculators, we got people on like Coinbase and stuff. This is part of like an index. AXS is big, man. Like and honestly, we should be thinking about how can we get AXS's price to go up, because that is going to be not only the number one marketing strategy for Axie and Ronin, but bringing attention back to NFTs as well. Like there's a lot of reasons why AXS, like having its price go up, is good. So what this means, I really got no idea. I don't know where things went. But I did know that there was going to be a decrease, because I read the white paper like some years ago or whatever it was. And I think like there's going to be a sell-off at some point, right? Like these kind of events, they will trigger some kind of a sell-off at some point. And I feel like that's going to be the best opportunity. For me, I always look at like where the opportunity lies, right? Not really, oh, is this good or bad? Like just look for the opportunity. It doesn't matter. This could be the catalyst where it's like, okay, people, like there's some whales capitulate, right? Not knowing. And then that is opportunity for you to come in and pick up at an extremely value price, and ride out the rest. With Axie MMO coming out, and like Sky Mave is really pushing their products and like creating new products, and opening up a new office and everything. Like I feel it would be foolish to be bearish, right? And if everybody's bearish, that's when you should be bullish. Like that's just how markets work.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna get if enough people are bearish and they're already there, they're holding a lot of the supply. They go ahead and sell that supply. Price pulls down. You have opportunity to go and acquire those tokens that weren't available prior to that. It's a tough environment, especially for those that don't have dry powder. It was very difficult to plan for this year, specifically the first part of this year. But now in the second half, I feel like if there is dry powder, it's going to be useful to be strategic with that dry powder, and this could be one of those strategies, is to buy the disbelief of others when you have other things looking forward. It really depends your perspective on like how things will perform as well, and it's everything's speculative. It's pretty difficult. Trevor was mentioning this Amarula post and how there was some valid points made here. Obviously, Axie Labs, AI Labs, is someone that is deeply focused around the AXS token specifically. And so I'm gonna unpack this a little bit here.
My brother AI Labs held from like 160 all the way. The thing about AI Labs, you guys gotta know, that guy is the biggest AXS bull you'll ever see. Probably a bigger AXS bull than Geos, and Geos is like the biggest AXS bull, because AI Labs always believed that AXS was better than Ron, like from day one, right? But the thing is, see, this is the thing. What's good, what's bullish, what's bearish, all depends on the time frames that you're looking at. So if your time frame is like 5-10 years, it's not going to be the same as the guy who's looking at like 1-2 years, right? Or 5 years, or like
the trade's different.
1 to 6 months, or like 1 to 2 days, or even like hourly. So there's opportunities in every time frames. So for someone like AI Labs, he's looking at like long term. So that bro is just stacking it up. Now he could have had a better average, right? Or like if he like bought a little bit later, but no one knows, right? What could have happened. I remember back during the AXS bull run, people were saying like, oh, this thing can go to like $500. Not that it already went bananas already, but I'm not even kidding you. And I'm talking about like people who have been here for a long time talking like, oh, the AXS could do $500. I'm like, what? Like I was new then. I didn't know shit. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe it can. I have no idea, right? I don't know anything about this industry. But obviously that didn't happen. So yeah, AI Labs just stacking it up. And Splitting Magoo's like they haven't done something bullish in long. Again, like it all depends on the time frame that you're looking at. So someone like me who likes to look at like very short time frames, like there's opportunities everywhere, honestly.
Yeah. Well, we did get presented by this response from Psychout about a week ago. Cutie music. But so there's a lot of questions I think that are circulating right now, which would be, I think it's a prime time really for a return to like public facing and addressing certain things. Jiho's has been doing it, but when it comes to these types of situations, Psych Out for me is a much better contender on standing up to these things. So it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. Personally here on the show, we talk to Psych Out to get him on here whenever we can. And there is schedule for later on this month to talk with him. Whether it will be that place he chooses to address these things, I don't yet know. We could ask those questions, but I think it probably is going to be a Ronin town hall or something in the Ronin server itself. But essentially, Amarula, after having the back and forth discussion, did say regarding my last post, so it was an error on the white paper schedule versus the actual emissions that ends in March 2026. In short, instead of the next 6 months, the remaining staking AXS rewards will stretch across 9 months, which just meant that there was incorrect, math being done. And even Holiday said in the comments here that like an adjustment to the white paper would simply clear a lot of the confusion up as well. But I think you do that in tandem with actually a live facilitation, AMA type deal, and we'll be back on track. And if people have sold it during that time and you buy before those things happen, and then those things do happen, and then there are people who sold it like, oh well, I probably should get that back. You pipped them. You pipped them a little bit, yeah, depending on your time frames as well. That's actually a really smart thing to say here, Theban, because I think especially when you're not like a trader, it's very important to start understanding time frame is pretty much everything, because everyone's position is different from each other, and which means the perspectives are constantly revolving around. So
honestly, anyway, the day that like the emissions for AXS is done is probably the biggest bull signal for AXS. Yeah, like if I was a long, like if I was a high time frame holder, I'd wait, because you got to know that all these VCs, they're still up. Like even people who bought on Binance, right, listing, like, or not Binance, but like when they first sold it in 2020, end of 2020, right, there's like at this current price, I think it's still up like 20x, which is absurd.
Yeah, because it was cents, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And so that just goes to show, like, once all the emissions over, then we start using like what's in the treasury to like start rewarding. That's when I'll see like AXS probably have its biggest spikes. And a lot of tokens right now aren't really at that stage yet. They're still at like distribution stage. So, and what I like to use, what I see as distribution is like, finding the exit liquidity for all the early investors that were there from like, when it all started. Now, when all those guys are all out, that's when we can really have like a community project, I think. Yeah. And this is for like super, higher time frame. I'm talking like if I'm holding for, 4 to 5 to 10 years, whatever it may be. And I think Axie as a project, as an IP, has the greatest potential out of like all the gaming IPs.
We made it. I'm here on the cam.
I'm here. Why does it look like you're?
I don't know, bro.
Like you're in like some horror movie, Like
I don't know, bro. Like, why is that on the cam, bro? Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. I can't. There we go. You're just gonna see all of the whatever the fuck they are.
YG obviously is number one. Flippy Magoo's a troll, bro. He's a troll. I don't think he's a real person, bro. I think he's just trolling, man. Pudgy number.
Well, with the name Flippy Magoo,
we literally just said gaming IP. It's like Pudgies.
Yeah.
Pudgies. Yeah. Like, I think at this point, it's just what it is. What it is, right? You know what they say: love and hate are two sides of the same coin, right? Yeah. So when you love something long enough, that there comes a moment where the coin flips. Yeah, I think that's where Flippy Magoo's at right now, and it's gonna flip back at some point, and it's gonna flip back and forth. People have been in relationships; they know what we're talking about.
No, for real. I mean, yeah. They made the steps that Axie arguably should have.
Whoa. Welcome then. Welcome to the Ronin Radio, Mr. Shags.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, Pepper means you have not been around for a minute because Stephen been here putting in top tier MVP performances for a long time now. But yeah, the access situation for me, is still one of those outlets in which, from a DeFi side of things, the APR is still very, very solid, has been for a very long
Oh,
time.
speaking of Axie, check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I never got
It's
this
hiding
merch,
back
bro.
there.
I never got this
Yeah,
merch. I did get it on
I
mine.
found my bag. I found my bag of my Axie. So now I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
be wearing Axie merch all summer long, eh?
Okay, let's go. Talking
Yeah.
about Axie in the summer, how close are we to this MMO? We still
Close.
haven't really heard any dates, but I know we're close. I know we are for the playtest.
Yeah.
The Axie score determines whether you can be in or not. So if you've got some good Axie score, you should have had an
So
email and you
I
had to go
guess what I
submit, right?
would probably be allowed to say, because it's like kind of semi-public, is that they're pushing the opt-in, right? They're like, guys, this is your last chance, like legit last chance. Like
I was gonna say, is
I
there
saw a
anything?
message in the Discord. So for the opt-in, so I think that means that we're on takeoff for like the first testing.
Oh, well, we do have a thread here from feedback and stuff. Your ideas are helping us shape Axie's newest game. Here's some feedback from last week and a few new feature leaks. Number two, community idea: rich battle features, pixelated evidence. Pictured a squad that could do more than swarm the enemy and attack. He imagined kiting mobs, managing cooldowns, etc. While these kinds of features won't be ready for the summer playtest, we are thinking about an idea called crowd control for the future. Very interesting. I like this though. This is what I said a few weeks ago on the show. How like Axie MMO, a lot of eggs are in this basket, and I think although we flash back to the start of the year when we spoke with Trung and he was like, look, I've learned over the last few years that the one thing that I should be doing is building a game that I want to play myself. And although, there's a lot of bullish element around that because, if he's going to build a game that he'll play himself after listening to his history, the types of games that he has played have been largely successful and, it would do well. But listening to the community in this feedback phase when it can be tweaked is going to be so important so that we don't get a full release of a product that hasn't been seen at all or involved, the community hasn't been involved at all, and then everybody starts complaining and then they're asking and demanding for changes, but we're so far down the line that those changes become difficult. More so this is
Okay,
good to see.
should I keep it a buck here or what?
Yeah, we can. I mean, the show's tomorrow, but we always keep it a buck
let's be real, right? Because that's what we're all about. We are, the show for the people at the end of the day, right? I've always been genuine about all my opinions, and so have you. I think for this testing, it's going to be fun and new, but we shouldn't, like, honestly, we shouldn't get like our hopes up. We shouldn't, because one, I think we're still far away from the final product. I think the way that we should see this is like, okay, does it have potential, right? And that's what we should gauge here, because if we go in with that kind of mindset, when we see the product, we're going to be able to figure out exactly where it is at and what kind of feedback that we do need to provide and make it like detailed feedback, right? Because any blind optimism going into this would probably be net negative for Ronin, Axie, all of it, right? Like we should be learning from our past, right? We've hyped projects and because they're on Ronin, right? Like look at Hydro, for example, but like we didn't really do our due diligence there to see and think about like,
we just saw a trailer and got bonus and went crazy.
Yeah, exactly, right? Where I think being critical, not overly critical, but like just right and just going in with a very neutral approach is gonna do a lot of good. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna be bull posting the Axiom all like crazy. I know that it's gonna be good because like this is gonna be their flagship game at the end of the day, right? How much effort and time they're putting and resources they're putting into this. If this is not their flagship game, what is? Right? And I can see how, like, they want it to be mobile. They want it to be playable by everybody, kids, right? All the genders, targeting all the genders here, giving something for every type of gamer. So yeah, I think let's just, like, take it chill. Let's just go in, let's play, let's get some notes, let's figure out what needs to happen, and then hopefully by the time that they launch, everything's gonna be good. Who was it that said they're planning to launch at the end of the year? Was it it was Cairo, right? He came on the show and he said,
he was on Keep It a Buck last week. He said
yeah,
something about the end of the year, but I think he was like referencing like 2026, early 2026.
I don't know, bro. He said end of this year is when they're targeting. I don't know if he knows something, but I don't think I've heard anything. Maybe chat knows something more about that. Did you guys hear anything about a full launch by the end of the year? But Cairo said it, so I was like, okay, well, I trust Cairo and, like, information that he has. If he,
I mean,
if
if
he said,
anything, like, bro had like, he absolutely dominated in land, and that was because of the connections and the understanding. Like, he had early understanding. I'm not saying he had like early access to information that nobody else had, but he had an early understanding. I think if anybody was to know a little bit more than your average public participant on Ronin, sorry, or within the Axe community, Kara would know something, but maybe he just misquoted. Maybe just misquoted, bro. Because it's always been in my head, and since they announced that it would be a 2026 release, this is an MMO. It's not easy to put it all together. So I would not expect an end of year release. I mean, if the playtest is really far along, which we're yet to discuss, it could happen. But yeah, I really don't think so.
yeah,
Brallo,
so I think
shut the fuck up.
I mean, you know what? Why don't we bring Rallo on? He said he was
Yeah,
he's
he
here.
did.
I'm happy to bring him on here if you want to get on here, Rallo. Trevor says they said summer playtest, game released by end of year. I vaguely remember something like that, but I honestly, man, like, I don't know. I don't know if they can accomplish that. That'll be insane. Like, they're going full steam ahead. I mean, it could make sense, right? Because it could mean that that's why they opened the SF office, because they want to go for that global launch, and they want to push, like, on all sides here. That would be insane. Not gonna lie, man, that would be freaking insane if they do get, like, the full product out. I just don't want something half-assed, right? I don't want like missing features and game full of bugs. Like, I really want to be able to enjoy this. And he said, if it's only on mobile, will you play it? Well, yeah, I'll play it. I got a nice phone. I got a phone just for that. To play mobile games, because a lot of Web3 games are also just mobile games. I don't know how the streaming will work for that, but I would like to stream it too. So I'll have to figure that out. I've never actually streamed from my phone games. So that'll be
I don't know how that would work. Like, honestly, it would upset me a little if this was just on the mobile, right? Like,
yeah, but think
I
about it,
do
right?
wanna...
If you're going for, like, mass adoption, it's gonna be mobile, man, right? Like, I don't know if you've ever checked your, like, Twitter analytics, right? You check your Twitter analytics, you'll see, like, PC is usually somewhere between, or browser is usually somewhere between, like, 20 and 30% max of the users. It's always mobile. And you can't, I don't think you're going to be able to make this into a browser game, right? So, like, being able to download, being able to have a PC who can run it and so on, it's still tough in this day and age. It's crazy. But yeah, but everybody has a phone, right? Everybody has a phone. Phones essentially have replaced, like, computers altogether.
I guess. I guess. I'm just biased, right? Like when I'm playing this type of game, I want it to be a little bit more complicated. That was my take, right? It's like watching the combat. It's interesting to see that the combat is arguably the most talked about in the feedback element, because that's what I'm most concerned about. Because I think if you don't have a combat loop with this game that really brings people in and actually does have
Yeah,
a skill expression, like, yo, it's going to be very, very, very difficult to sell all the
Well,
other aspects, because I mean they're
you
a lot more simple.
I think in gaming we're not really trending towards skill expression. I think we're trending more towards automation.
Yeah.
I think people are starting to realize that you can make more money by having a really good automation, like for your game,
Yeah.
like autopilot. And then have the skill expression through strategy and so on. I think like anything where your individual like physical capabilities come into factor, they've been trending downwards for years now. And all these games that are being built, they're here to make money, right? And a game like Axie Infinity is here to make the most amount of money out of all the games. That's what they're competing for. They're competing for number one. So I think the skill expression will come into effect, but it's going to be, if I were to guess, it would be more so around economy, min maxing, the spreadsheet type game stuff. If I was to guess,
Yeah.
and then like
So
probably there'll be some
like
kind
a
of
lot more
autopilot
economy.
as well.
Yeah, like economy focus really is like what we're looking at for these types of games, like an MMO side. It's more so about the economy and less so about like skill expression directly.
Yeah. Trevor says, Steven, I'm wrong. The blog post says their second playtest is the end of the year, not the game launch, but maybe Cairo knows something. Yeah. I think that's what I was wondering too. I know that there was something at the end of the year. I just didn't think it was going to be a global game launch because there's no way they can finish by the end of the year. I think like just getting all the feedback from this playtest and like fixing all the issues will take so much longer than just like being able to be at a full launch. And I think they want to get this product right. Man, I remember Dota 2, okay? We were in beta for like 4 years. We were having $1 million tournaments like while being in beta. Right? They didn't have their global launch until I think like TI4 or TI5 or something. Oh wow, look at this homeless guy. Who is this?
What's up, brothers?
I fucking sorted my camera out, bro. Like, yo, we ready? Now we look clean. What's good? You outside? You outside the farm? Hello.
Yeah, look.
Wrong K rice farmer.
Yeah, bro. What's up, boys? What you up to?
Wait, before we go on to what our resident homeless guy has to say, Shags said, he said something here I thought that was interesting. He said, what did he say?
Aside from games,
yeah, meme trading might help Ronin attract more people. See, the thing about meme
I'm bearish
trading
on
is,
meme coins, bro. I'm so bearish.
I think it's very abundantly clear that Sky Mavis doesn't want to support memes and meme trading. Like
Ronky would be 50 million plus if they did.
Yeah. If they pressed on that back then when Ronky really had a movement and people from outside of Ronin were coming in, it could have been 50 million. I agree. It's very clear they don't want to. They want to go towards the direction of like these capsules and so on. But I will say, if there was a meme that's gonna do well on Ronin, it's gonna be Ronk, right? That's for sure. Like that's probably the only one, other than like all the other tokens that launched as like utility stuff, right? Like Kitty, for example. Like they're building a product and things like that. Like those I can believe in.
Yo, Steven, one second. Rallo, can you fucking exhale in the other direction, please? Motherfucker. I love you, man. My man's like blowing that shit. Yeah.
Bro, I have
Actually,
big nose, you know?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you are right. Like Ronky is the meme on Ronin. It's the only one that really has potential to do extremely well. It made me think and I laughed in my head for a little bit. What happened to the CAG NFT? Fuck knows. And Kitty is an independent builder. We're actually supposed to be having Kitty on the show at some point. We'll be speaking with that team. They're getting their stuff together, whatever it is. But they've they gave me a whole run through of the shit that they've been building. That team is capable. They've actually built some really cool stuff. And Ronin is leaning more into the supporting of developers as we go on throughout the year. So that could be an interesting scenario. But yeah, it's very clear that, if memes were going to be a thing on Ronin, and something that they saw as a product market fit for Ronin and an angle that they wanted people to come into Ronin for, they would have 100% acted differently in the era of Tama, and around when Ronki first existed, right? So, but we're gonna Ronki, and how are we gonna do it, Pink Ronki? How are we gonna save Ronki?
Listen, Ronki is fucking dead. There's no saving it, bro. I'm
It's
just being real. Yeah, I'm just being real. But listen, I think you were talking about the MMO, right? I
Yes.
think that's an interesting topic because I would love skill expression, but I don't think it's gonna be there. I don't think it's economically viable, the skill expression anymore in Web3, at least for what we have seen until this point, right? Maybe there are some economic games which are good, like Cambria, but I think the part that stands for Cambria being good economically does not have to do with the skill expression. It's more of a poker. We could call it a poker
Chance
investment
based.
And
based
also, I'll add
economy,
something to
right?
that too. I think the jury's still out on Cambria, from me at least, because
The jury, you said like you're not sure yet, right?
because it's still pre-TGE. I don't like. I will only accept a game is successful once it TGEs and it does well for like the following 3 months at the least. At the least 3 months. I need. You could do
Uh,
well for 1 month because a game can sustain, a market maker can sustain the token for a little while. But I
yeah.
need at least 3 months before I'm like, okay, this is actually cooking. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard, bro.
We spoke about it, right, with Hantow on Keeping It a Book as well, and how one of the main ways in which even I was convinced of a strategy in which you could do those things. The buyback method is arguably not sustainable. It's not
It's not
sustainable,
it.
right?
It's not it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, do we have to? Does there need to be some kind of another novel invention to be implemented to see that? Because it's always going to happen. TGE
I'm gonna
happens, and
tell you,
people are going to go.
the system, the gaming system, I think it will. I'm not sure if it will work economically, but definitely the gaming system that I would like to see in Web3 is I call it 2.5 battling. So it's like um let me see if there I don't think there's a Web3 game that I can speak about, but there's some Web2 games that have been doing this for the last year. Bazaar, do you guys know Bazaar?
yeah, I heard of it. I haven't played it yet. My
Okay,
friend
so
suggested it, but yeah.
it's very good game. I suggest it to you as well. It's just play for fun, but it's a good game. So the concept is when you're playing, right? You can just leave your PC. Even if you're playing a ranked game, you just leave your PC and you come back and you keep on playing. But the concept is you're playing against other players, but they're not online playing. So
So
what would
like
that
Tokyo
mean?
Beast.
Similar to Tokyo Beast, similar to Tokyo Beast. Yeah, Tokyo Beast has I think it's the first Web3 that has that concept, but it's more there's more to it. So like if you could translate it to an MMO, it's like you could have battles with other MMO players, but you take like an illusion, right, of an ex player and his character and his power, and you battle against that illusion, but the player gains something and you gain something out of it.
Fableborn has something similar to that
That's
going.
yeah. I don't know anything about Fableborn, but I think that
Yeah,
system
but
that you can
you set
like
up your dungeon essentially, and you go and fight other people's dungeon that they set up.
yeah. Basically, my idea is like every game that doesn't ask you to be constantly like full focus on something, but also allows you to sometimes be full focus on it. I think that's kind of the what I'm looking for in a
Yep,
game, right?
pretty much.
Uh, because like right now, like when everything's bearish, people have less time because they don't allocate so much time to this because it's not worth it, right?
Hmm.
So I think we should try to make games that you can spend 8 hours or you can just get up and leave and then come back and still play and not be like fucking like Axie model. I think it's not it's not gonna work anymore as time goes by.
Hmm.
Which it did work amazingly, but like prices were fucking wild, right? So no one minded to play like 10 hours a day, right? Because it was worth. But right now it's not. So it's like we need a little less time from people. I think that's my opinion, at least, right? Like,
Like the expansion of the application in itself, right? Like the application of a game. We're now in a phase where it was specifically in this industry because of the financial elements of it. It's like, okay, let's expand the game application
like
somewhere,
if
somewhere
Tokyo
else, right?
Beast was in Ronin, I was not a scam. I think it would be like probably the best game in Ronin, and everyone would like literally play every
Yeah.
day, and they would be mindlessly playing. But
Hmm.
it's not on Ronin, and it is a scam, so not very much down to play that game
I
anymore.
mean,
But
I wouldn't call it a
it is a
scam,
scam.
but
No, it is a
what
scam.
I would call it is it's a max extraction event.
No, no, no.
Okay,
It is a
it's
scam.
a it's
It
a
is a scam.
it's like your meme coin that was cabal to shit, and
No,
they're just trying to take everything from you.
that's not true.
Um,
It's a scam.
okay,
Listen, if I tell you something and then I do something else, that I'm scamming you, right?
yes.
So it is a scam. They're not telling you that they're mass extracting you. They're telling you that they're doing a game. So it's a scam. That's just the way it is. I'm sad about it because the game is fucking good.
Yeah, it's
But I'm
actually
Yeah.
like,
good. It's
what do
actually
you
good. It's
what
actually
do you
good.
make a great game to scam people? Like you could have done so much less work, right? But yeah, for me it is a scam.
Oh man.
Was it
Oh, the troll, the troll, the troll.
Gooseman said skill expression biggest factor for games. It's a must. You know, as someone who has literally played games his whole life and utilizes individual ability, skill, knowledge, whatever to like succeed and make a living out of it, I'm telling you, bro, skill expression in this industry, like the way that you see it, like let's say you're a Dota player, League player, CS player, whatever it is literally the most bearish thing for a game. Not even kidding you.
Not
Like,
for the players, but for everyone else, basically.
yeah, what ends up happening is you're gonna have like a small group of people who are gonna come in who are gonna be really good, and everybody else is like, oh, that guy's gonna win, or they're gonna stop playing now. It's not like Dota where like people just play for fun, right? And they don't have a life and they're just playing for the sake of playing. I don't think we'll ever get to that point in like this industry unless those games come in. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that's one of my biggest indicator is like seeing, okay, how much of this game can be automated, how much of this game is like would a whale actually want to play. If a whale doesn't want to play the game, then I'm like already mega bearish on the game from the beginning. And this is like before we go into the economics and like what's this and what's that and stuff. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why, you know, some of these projects from 2021 are super fucked right
Yeah,
now
but they
because,
work at that time because this was not common knowledge, right? So
oh
everyone
yeah,
was
definitely
still
not.
figuring out
Yeah,
if
because
they could
back
or if they
in
couldn't, right?
in 2021, all those projects who like started with their white papers and everything in their pitch decks, the main focus was this is a game for fun. Okay, literally, that was their main focus. Like that's how they were selling the games to people. It's a game for fun. That's what's different compared to Axie. People play Axie because it's extraction. They're gonna play our game for fun. Guess what? You have all these quote unquote fun games, but fun is subjective, right? People actually have fun when they're making money in this industry, right? And when they see
Mhm.
price go up. So, did you make a fun game if the price isn't going up and they're making money? Probably not, right? Because the people who are coming to play your game, that's what they're coming for. So,
Bottom line, honestly, when you look at it, how does the gaming industry make money? Right? We're talking about just in whole. it revenues right, well, upwards of 80 billion per annum based upon how much attention they can get. It's all attention. It's not even the word fun. Like, you're not making a game for fun. You're making a game to have the share of attention from human beings, which then equates to some form of revenue. And in this industry, we have some companies that don't even turn the attention to revenue. So like,
Yep.
but it's not about fun. It actually is about attention, which is why I'm talking in the language of like application expansion, because
Yep.
there are more ways that you can harness the attention of someone than them being locked the fuck in, face 1 centimeter away from their desktop, playing an FPS, right? Like, there are just different ways to go about getting attention. And one thing that is critical right now, just on a human level, is that our attention span and the capacity of our attention is literally moving so fast, so rapidly in the last 3 to 5 years that applications have to adapt because our attention is changing. So that's what we're facing in this industry, in my opinion, is the fact that, you know, people want to hide behind the term of fun, but really, you know, what can you do to actually like grab that attention? How do you actually grab that attention? And of course, in real life, if I don't have any fucking money, I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to drink, I'm going to have a house, I'm going to be able to do shit. So if I can get money for giving my attention, that's what's going to happen. If I have fun and no money, I'm going to starve. Then it's not going to be so fun. I'm going to be so thirsty that I won't be able to talk about how fun some shit is. And eventually I'll just die, and that won't be fun. So
like in
the
even
industry's about attention.
like you can it's not the same thing, but we could use it as a test tool. Like we can compare it to Web 2, right? Like I follow Web 2 a lot. I think Web 2 is very interesting. Um, we need to understand how to compare it though, because of course Web 2 is not the same as Web 3, and there will be stuff that works in Web 2 and doesn't work in Web 3. But conceptually, I think that it's very interesting. I have something to present to you guys. Just 1 second. Let me share your screen. Check this. So this is the monthly chart of Marvel Rivals, right? You can like Marvel Rivals, you cannot like it, but definitely is a great game, very well produced. It has like probably the most, I'd say like the most well-known IP in the world, probably
Mhm.
to make a game. Like it's definitely an amazing IP, and you can look like the numbers are like highly in, oh my god, 3 months, yeah, highly in decline. So it's like 140K where they were making like 500K 600K players. So my point is like, imagine like even a game that has like probably the best IP in the world, excellent like motor frames, the game is fucking fun, bro, you can play that game for a lot of time, right? And
Mhm.
you have like such a huge amount of players that you can be bad at the game and play it. That's Steven said that you cannot do that in Web3, right? Like if you're so bad at a game, you're just gonna lose a lot of money. You're not gonna play that. But in Web2 you can, because you're not investing, and also the game is free, and also like you have players that are really bad that like playing the game, which doesn't happen right now in Web3. And still like the mindshare and the attention is just so hard to entertain. Like even Claire Obscure, which is a game that probably will be game of the year. Claire Obscure
Yep.
Expedition
Expedition
30. Yeah,
33.
this game is definitely game of the year. I'm not gonna be surprised. Like there's 25K people playing. There were like 50K, right? This is like there were like 150K playing. Of course this is a single player game, but my point is like the demand for attention is so hard to maintain, even if your game is fucking sick, even if your
Yeah.
investment is sick, if your IP is the best IP in the world. So why would it be different for us? Right?
Because
So
it's the expansion of the application of a game. A game is no longer now a plug-in experience. Like, if you broaden the game beyond the sitting and playing, that allows for attention to be maintained, because we're almost building applications that become lifestyle applications that are a form of a game that have
my
that plug-in.
yeah, literally my point is like if we don't present something that's juicy, we're just gonna suffer the same fate, and we don't have enough money, or developers to have even such good games. So we need to bring something juicy to the table. What is that? It's just money, bro. We cannot pretend it's not money, right? We cannot pretend it's not money. The only way we're gonna grab attention is with money. The reason why a lot of people started playing Axie is because they saw a lot of winners, and there are
Mhm,
no winners right now. So why would people start playing games, right? It's like
mhm,
I'll just play Counter Strike 2. It's free. I'll just play Marvel Rivals. It's free. Like there are
mhm.
amazing game with amazing IPs that are free. So we have to bring something else to the table. Maybe it's not money. Sure. What is it then? Like bring me something that makes me want to play your game. But right
Yeah,
now I'm in the Steam epoch, bro. I open Steam and I just prefer to fucking spend $8 and play a great game than fucking try to spend 200 and get rugged, right? It doesn't make any sense. So we need to bring something else to the table. That's my thought, right? That's my thought.
yeah, yeah. I think that's very solid. And if you take the Apex Predator, the best product, which Marvel Rivals arguably could be, um, and if it has those types of performance metrics, it's rough. It's fucking. It is fucking rough. But I'm very firm on the stance of like this industry has the technology rails to expand the application in the ways that I'm talking about, which would change gaming as a front, would change the way that people interact with games. There could still be the element of the plug in and play, but this would be the environment where that expansion successfully takes place. If not, something a company um, or a studio from that traditional gaming world will come here to use those technological rails eventually anyway. So that's what keeps me optimistic. That's what keeps me ticking every single week because I know there is almost an inevitability based upon pattern, and the pattern becomes stronger year on year of the fact that we just generally in the gaming industry there are critical problems that don't have answers yet, and yeah, I think the expansion of the application is the answer of those problems. But yeah, if you're a Ronky, I'm sorry for that segment because you would not have been able to understand anything that was on the screen, right? but no, it is true. It's true. There's a few things I want to just ring off for announcements purposes, and of course in support, especially of people here in the Ronin ecosystem. But something that happened yesterday that we noticed, and I mean, Rallo, you probably won't give a shit at all because you don't know anything about Fableborn right now, but
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Cosgood.
we are going to go back to Cosgood. She actually updated the
Wait, show the update.
I gave the
Before we
leaks,
do
by the
this,
way. It's in my Twitter. The leaks are on my
okay,
Twitter. I told
okay,
everyone.
we'll go
why
check
they
that out.
need
We'll
to
go
come
check that
back.
out. But before we do that, I just want to make a big shout out to Mark Odazil
Oh yeah,
because they went and swept the shit out of the Fableborn floor. There's definitely guild operations happening in there. I'm looking to see is there anyone going to step up and contend with Mark of the Zeal in terms of the guild capabilities in this game. But when I see this from people who built from the community, I'm bullish. So shout out to Mark of the Zeal over there and Cairo too. But you tweeted
isn't
about
Mark
this
of the
then.
Zeal Cairo though? Yeah,
Mark of the Zeal is it's Cairo. It's Cairo.
yeah, okay,
So here's Pink Ronky.
yeah.
According to very secret sources, Miss Kathleen Osgood came back from Ronky Rest to take Ronin Network to another dimension. Get ready. Here's why. Yo, you're learning, bro. You're out here engagement. This is like one of the like ninjutsu techniques
Bro,
for
but like this is like
X-Farm.
yeah.
No, I didn't expect it. I didn't actually expect it. Oh my god. No, I didn't expect it.
Bro, I'm
Oh
just
my
farming.
god.
I'm just farming yaps, bro. I learned from Theban.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
bro.
fucking get it.
The
Let's
cringiest,
fucking
bro.
get it.
Theban, you're the cringiest shit alive. I love you, bro. I love you. You're making me laugh every fucking day. I wake up and I'm like, "Eh, LeBron is going back to the Lakers." I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna like this shit. I
Going
want
back
him.
to the Lakers.
I want him to
Yeah.
know. I want him to know.
Listen, you know, I'm experimenting right now, okay?
Yes,
And
yes.
I'm
I
learning
will
something.
like
I'll
every
tell you my
single one
findings.
of your experiments. Okay.
I'll tell you. Listen,
Okay.
I'm experimenting. I'm taking it like a game. I'm trying to figure out. I'm cracking the code.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's techniques, man.
And listen, my findings right now is the best way to farm engagements for me has been I need to drop my IQ by 100. Okay. And I gotta let everybody else
This fucking
feel
guy.
like they're smarter than they're smarter than me. Okay. And then just say the dumbest shit, right? What ends up happening is half the people end up agreeing, and then you got the other half the people calling you an idiot. Then you get max
Yeah,
attention.
you get both sides.
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
if you're too smart, the one side is like, I don't fucking know what that means. I'm not reading that. Wrong kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Right?
exactly.
And then you and if you just be yourself, you get like 1 or 2% of like the attention, the engagement that you're actually looking for. So it's been going, man. Like that's what I found to be working right now. I just got to drop my IQ by 100, and it's cooking so far. I'll try some more, other things, and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we're talking strictly on an engagement basis here, and obviously, on X right now, the kind of target or the goal, and that a lot of people are aiming for, is in order to be able to access certain utilities with X. There's ways to make and monetize content on X, but you have to reach a certain goal. So getting that engagement is really not fucking easy, especially when you don't have hundreds of thousands, millions of followers, etc.
This is
But
the
there's
this is the
methods,
cringe
techniques,
era.
bro.
This is the
Yeah.
cringe era. Like
We're
I
on.
am
Yeah, I agree.
need to embrace the cringeness. Need to drink that 3% homo milk and just go to town, baby.
Yeah, facts. So that's what's happening. This is the document from Kathleen. So there's been some updates. We saw it earlier. It's changed from earlier. It says, I've been in crypto for 8 years. I joined Sky Mavis and the bridge got hacked 2 weeks later. I overcame immense adversity.
This is literally what
Kathleen.
she wrote, or you're trolling.
No,
she wrote that, but we're suspecting
Kathleen,
that
if you are there, if you are
suspecting that it's
there,
hacked.
Is anyone
please
pissed off at this, or am I the only one? What is
explain,
it?
elaborate on that. What do you mean?
I mean, why? Like, did she got hacked, or did Sky
No.
Mavis got? And then why is she the victim of Sky Mavis getting hacked?
No, you goofball, you're not following. Okay, first of all, go on Costgood's page. You were trolling about Costgood, but we're not trolling.
But
Go
you
on
Okay.
definitely
Costgood's
didn't
page.
go. You didn't look at
I
it at
only
all.
troll.
Okay.
Everything I say is a troll.
Listen. So she put a link on her bio that leads to this page. Okay, and in this page, she's updating real time this stuff.
Oh my
She
god!
wrote
this
earlier,
is-
right? She wrote
Oh,
earlier, "Hey Gila," right? Anyway,
Ah.
we all think that she just got hacked.
bro, this is cringe as fuck. Listen.
We're
She
in
did
the
not
cringe
get
phase.
hacked,
We're
right?
embracing.
She did not get hacked, or did she? She didn't.
We don't know.
We don't know.
How the fuck
Kathleen,
would
can
we
you tell
know?
us if you were hacked or not? She did say earlier she was not.
Yeah, no. Trevor asked, "What's Kathleen? What's your dog's name?" Right? Because
She
I guess
actually did.
Trevor knows.
Yeah, she put Melody, but I don't know if that's a dog's name. So like that meant they confirmed nothing to me. But if Trevor knows that, then there you go, Trevor. Your question was answered. She did put Melody.
Yeah.
Listen, I think Caitlin's cool. I think she's a very smart woman.
Why do you say it like that, though, bro? Like,
Caitlin?
But
yeah, it's like
what's his name? What's her name? What do you mean? Kathleen?
Kathleen.
Kathleen?
Like,
Kathleen?
yeah.
I think Caitlin is kind of cool.
Okay. Yep.
But listen, this is rubber, bro. We need someone to step up. What is this like whiny bullshit? Like I overcame
Okay. Look,
adversity, bro. We want someone that overcomes adversity every fucking day and brags about it. That's what I think, right? We need someone who steps up, not like I've been gone for 8 years. I play crypto a lot and we got hacked. We don't need that. We need fucking vibes. So, Caitlyn, if you're watching this, all good, but like step up. Yeah, that's it.
Bro,
the thing is, I know what
you
this
do
is
know
all
Kathleen
for.
doesn't work Caitlyn. I keep now saying Caitlyn because of
You're
You
fucked.
like
You're
it though,
fucked.
right?
You've been
It has a
subjected
little,
to the
it has a
root.
little
You do-
more to it.
You do know Kathleen doesn't work with Ronin, right? Like they're free to say whatever we want. We don't have to be on this page and look at this.
Yeah.
Like it's okay.
Of course,
It's not a big deal, guys. It's okay.
Listen. What do you mean she doesn't work with Ronin? She didn't work with Ronin. She did.
She doesn't anymore.
Oh,
right?
of course she doesn't anymore. Of course she doesn't
Yeah,
anymore, but she
so-
still wants to keep working to sustain herself, so she needs to write something. You can't just disappear, right?
That's okay, and that's her story to tell. And if you want to observe it, that's fine. I don't think like there's any point to like judge how they
Oh,
want
so
to
she's
deliver
not gonna
it.
work with Ronin anymore. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck it then. Why are we watching this?
Why did you farm it earlier? Same shit. But I will say this. I will say, yeah.
I mean,
I will say this. I will say this. I think you're both wrong.
okay, why? If she works, then I'm completely right, bro. She
So
needs to fucking
You're
step up.
saying this is
No, why not?
you're saying this is one of the biggest
Oh,
engagement farms like in Ronin that's happened where
Well,
she's
no,
not
because
actually let go or-
metrics wise, it's not that big, but
yeah.
there is engagement farming process
Nah, I don't think so. I think
taking
like
place.
I think she just knows that there's a lot of people asking her what's going on and wants to like just share her side of the story, which people like to do, right? People don't like people just assuming things and then just letting it go, right? So
Yeah.
that's what
I
I'm
guess.
thinking.
So if I can sum it up, I think if I talk to you, Theben, I'm gonna be a whiny bullshit crybaby because I'm talking in private and you're my friend. But if I go publicly, I think I would expect more of a more, yeah. That's it. That's my take. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this would be mega bullish for like whatever her next job is. Why not?
Uh-huh.
Right?
Saying
Why
that
not?
you've
Why?
been through immense and blah, blah, that's not bullish for anyone. It's like
Why?
everyone.
It's
How's that
true.
not-
What
Bro,
what are
it's
you
like
talking
saying-
about? If you're the biz dev, right, and your chain goes through a fucking $600 million hack 2 weeks after you get hired, okay, and you're like, well, fuck, I'm right here. I gotta deal with this shit, and I gotta figure out how to turn this around. I'd say she did a damn good job at turning shit around because we did see Ron go down like 98% or whatever it was from where it came out and then to the hack and everything and right back to like $4 or whatever while she was there.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna say this. I'm sorry.
I don't
need
think
to
that's
say it because there's people that feel like me. Everything went to shit since the hack happened, and you cannot blame anyone.
Yeah.
But what did Caitlyn do for us?
Okay, I'm gonna say this sounds like a lot of misdirected anger, right? Like maybe like scapegoaty a little bit.
Me?
No,
bro, I'm
not
just
you.
asking.
I'm talking about
Ah.
community in general,
Okay,
right?
okay.
Like I'm not gonna be like I'm not dumb enough to be like, yeah, they didn't do anything. Like that's not true.
No, they
Because
did.
They did quite a lot in my opinion. Like as an outsider, because I didn't know anything, right? I just looked from the outside, and you guys were all singing her praises, and then suddenly it's like, oh, she's gone and Ron's done, and you're like, oh no, she didn't do anything. Like it makes no sense to flip flop. Like just keep the same energy, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
I don't
all
know.
I'm gonna say about that.
I think she's smart. I know she's smart. I really don't think that Ronin shares a lot of what their workers do internally. That's up to them. But I think that would be kind of beneficial for everyone if they did like kind of a patch notes thingy where they're like, okay, we're doing this. Business is
Yeah.
working with this. Blah 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 is working with that. We changed this structure to this. Because for me, it feels that I don't know what Ronnie's been up to for the last 5 years. I just trust, right? It's like,
Makes
yeah,
sense.
we're okay. Yeah, that's what
fine.
we're doing.
I-
But yeah, a
tell
league
you
or
why.
Dota patch note will really help.
I'll tell you why, right? Sky Mavis has always been secretive about everything they do. Always. They
Yeah.
never really like they'll tell you what's happening like on the day, right? Because think about it. Ever since Axie, all eyes have always been on them in the gaming industry. Think about if you're a competitive player playing in any game, doesn't matter what game it is, let's say Axie. Let's say you're the best, right? What's going to happen? Everyone looks at you for information, secretly even, right?
Yeah.
They will even send spies to your camp
Yes.
to know what the
that's
fuck
true.
you're doing. right? So that they can maybe take the idea and evolve themselves faster. So because of that and that mentality that they've had since like 2021, right? They've always been like very close. Even their inner circle, like within Ronin, they don't tell, right? They keep it all tight-lipped. So I think that's
You
why
wouldn't
we don't
tell.
get those kind of updates until like it's actually there already,
I
like in
think
front of us.
that's a good way to do it when you're like the most bullish change in the world. But right now, I think we need to communicate people. That's my way of thinking.
Yeah, I think it's all about timing.
We need
But
money, bro. Like the chain needs money. Why are people gonna put money into something they don't understand or they don't know where it's going? I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
someone needs to say it. Like, I know there are different ways of communicating. Like, I learned a lot from Ronin Radio, for example. But is someone who's gonna put money into a chain gonna watch Ronin Radio? Probably not at the first start when he's starting. So yeah, we need like a better marketing tool to share people what the fuck is Running doing. Because when I talk to people, they're like, "Oh, isn't that the debt chain that got hacked and stole money from people through SLP?" I'm like, "No, it's much more to it. Where can I see that? I don't know." So yeah, that's my take. I think we should share more of what we know that's been going through the back the back point, the back end.
yeah, yeah. I get what you're saying. For us, for sure, like, you know, the ability for our narratives to change, which then outwardly influences everyone else's understanding of the narrative, like, is improved or increased.
Oh my
if
god,
Sky
guys!
Mavis
don't-
revealing
we have
those
we have a
things.
stream we're supposed to be on. Gila, we got deep into this. We forgot.
Oh shit! Wait! Is
Oh
it
my
on
God.
Dripstalk?
Let's go check it out.
Go do it.
Is it
Go
on
do it, guys.
Dripstalk?
I'll leave you to
Wait,
it.
wait, wait,
I don't
wait,
want
wait.
to. I don't
I
want to be
can't see.
involved.
I can't see them live. Are they live? Wait, the Ronin Network's not live. Though?
I'll put the link in the chat. Oh no, I'll DM it to you.
Okay.
Here's the stream.
Ah.
Oh wait! It's not
Yeah.
today. It's tomorrow.
Oh, then we're good.
I'm just gonna tell you something.
Oh,
If
it's tomorrow.
Cosgood,
Oh,
if
lol. It's July
if Cosgood
2nd.
goes to fucking abstract, I'm quitting. I fucking quit.
Oh, you saw that comment in chat?
Yeah. Fucking Uryu, fucking trolling.
Yeah.
I mean, props
Yeah.
to Finn, right? I remember Finn. Props to
Yeah.
him. He fucking nailed it, bro.
Yeah, some good stuff. But shout out to Finn, bro. Still a good friend. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you know, it's this whole industry is a chessboard, bro, and you're not gonna tell your opponents what
I agree.
formation you're going for.
I agree.
You know, I'll tell you this: everybody that's worked for Sky Mavis just got gobbled up right away.
Yes.
So I don't think there will be any difficulty for Cosgood or anyone else.
Absolutely no.
So
Just
that
gotta get a
actually goes
fucking
to
job.
show that actually goes to show how much value
People
Sky
put
Mavis
into-
employees
yeah.
have
Yes.
just because of the name alone.
Mhm.
Yes,
right?
people want a piece of the pie, right? They're like, "Oh, you work there? Sure, come work with us. Want to learn from you, right?"
Yeah. So
You cannot
like,
deny that they
so
know
you
stuff.
can't deny. So the industry actually respects them quite a lot. Like
Yes.
there's a lot. Like you said, it's a chess game, right? It's a game of chess. Like just because you're on this side of the grass, right, and something isn't going well, it doesn't mean that like the grass is greener on the other side. You know. So
Hypothetical
to-
question: do you think
Mhm.
if we only had one chain, like whole Web3, we just played for one player, we would do better?
of course.
I know it's hypothetical.
No,
and
no. I don't.
I'm not sure. Huh?
I
no.
think if there was 2 or 3, yes. 1, no, because without competition, there will never be growth.
Mm.
Okay, you need competition for growth. But 2 or 3, fine. But we got like 20, 30, 40. What I don't even know. I think there's like an L1 that pops up every fucking day, right? And farming tokens and
I would not
airdrops
be
and
surprised
bullshit.
if there's a fucking AI popping up like 101 per minute.
Oh,
with a
it's gonna.
token.
It's
So,
honestly, we're probably gonna go down that route the same way like meme coins have.
Same with tokens. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because like at some point they're gonna be like, oh, there's gonna be some L1 rotations, and then like, oh, what's the L1 for today? Right?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Please no. That's
Please
like
no.
a nightmare, bro.
Listen, I think having fun is the ultimate form that will never get boring in Web3. And as long as we provide money and fun, we're gonna be okay. But yeah, we're just lacking on the money part because fun is covered, right? We have like Gila doing streams every day, or like Theban pretending to be a fucking Twitter entrepreneur. It's like timeline couldn't be funnier every day, right?
Yeah.
Right, Thebes?
I blanked out because
Hey, yo, yo,
listen,
nah, guess what, bro? Seriously, like